Welcome to Total Fitheads.
Serious fitness for not so serious people.
Hello.
Hey, how we doing? What are you drinking?
Oh, you're gonna open with a non-brand deal?
Well, you can just say
Watermelon
what.
mint,
Coffee, soda water,
soda water.
juice. Do you like soda water?
I do. I'm pretty sure though they're PFAS in all of it, right? I shouldn't be drinking it. It's taken years off my life.
I think so. I think somebody
Mm.
was also saying that if you chug soda water, you have to go to the bathroom real bad. I forget where I heard that. And now I'm a little paranoid about it.
Because it's
Not bad.
sparkling.
Yes,
That makes a difference.
it sparkles. I think it's the carbonation, yeah.
I've heard carbonation hydrates you better somehow, but I don't know how.
I've heard it hydrates you worse. So there we are. We're stuck.
Yeah, it was a part of the argument why beer is a good recovery drink. You should drink it after a marathon because the sparkling part hydrates you more. Obviously, there's carbohydrates in it, energy. I think, yeah, well, there's no such thing as truth anymore.
I know. As soon as you hear something, someone else will push up their glasses and say, actually,
Hmm.
and then offer you a completely diametrically opposed, factually based blah blah blah.
And they're
Milk's really good for
probably,
you. Actually, it's terrible for you. Oh,
mm,
okay, cool. Good to know. Good to know.
they're both true. It's just one's true for you and the other one's true for me.
Well, I think they're also true in different, milk's probably good for you unless you drink a giant pint of it every morning, like Got Milk
Or
commercials told us to do.
they're still out there.
I mean, talk about a dynamite campaign. I, I fell for it. I thought it was for sure. We all fell for it. Now we're all drinking oat milk, soy milk, cashew, peanut
Oat
milk,
milk is
whatever.
so bad for you. Oh my goodness.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I don't actually drink any of them. I never
Blood sugar like
loved.
crazy.
Really.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I liked cereal for a while and then I stopped eating cereal and now I can't go back. It's crazy.
Because of your mental state or because
Yeah,
of, yeah,
mental state. I
I
don't,
know.
I could
It's
eat it.
just,
I mean, it's not like, if I'm in a dire straits, yes, I'll have a bowl of cereal, but I haven't had a bowl of cereal. I haven't been in such dire straits in 5+ years, probably, maybe 10. Just
when you're on
not
an
a thing.
island and all you have is a bowl, it's cereal and milk, not even a
And
spoon.
and you have to carve a spoon out of a stick. You have to carve a spoon out of a spoon-shaped stick that you happen to find.
But that was 5 years ago.
Yeah, thank God. I'm off that island now. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't do cereal. I do black coffee, thank God.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, yeah. I mean, but coffee and a splash of milk, I feel like that. Yeah, it's like the Ben Greenfield problem where everything is equally bad for you when it's not, you know? A splash of milk in your coffee is very different than a bowl of sugary carbs in the morning, you know?
yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing is that is was the cereal the bad part of was the milk the bad part of my breakfast bowl of cereal, or was the sugar bomb blaster sugar bombs the bad part of my breakfast cereal? I remember there was one comedian and he was doing a stand up and he was like, what's funny about those cereal commercials? And they're always like part of a balanced breakfast. And then they show a bowl of cereal and an additional glass of milk and a glass of juice and some cantaloupe and a bowl of spinach and he was like, just once I want to see part of a balanced breakfast. And it's a bowl of cereal and a bottle of bourbon and a handgun. And
Yeah.
you're like, part of a balanced breakfast. And then he like sticks the gun in his mouth and you're like, okay, dude, okay. Chill.
Which is basically what you're doing by eating that metabolic bomb. It just takes a little longer.
I mean,
Sorry, I'm on a kick.
what's your kick? Is your metabol life?
I'm about halfway through Dr. Casey Means, co-founder of Levels' new book, Good Energy,
And previous guest on Fitheads.
and twice previous guest on
Two
Fitheads. I'm
time.
honored she came to talk to us.
Um,
The book's awesome and makes me question every choice I make once again, but like not in a Ben Greenfield way. This is very actionable. I know exactly what I need to do, and it's
nice.
clear,
What are
and
you
it will
doing?
help.
Like what?
Eat earlier in the day. Stop having two servings of pasta all at once. I know. I'm not bulking anymore, so I can, I guess,
Hmm.
transition.
Oh, so you're a trans.
I'm transitioning
I'm
to
transitioning
being
from
skinny,
skinny to fat or fat to skinny or whatever.
strong to less strong.
I identify as dense, bone dense.
Ah, you should read it or not. I don't know. Did it mess you up when you put levels on? I have not been the same. Like when you're saying I can't eat cereal anymore, I feel like that's how I feel about all food. It's
Levels to
now
me
put
was
in,
fun. It was fun to sort of figure out what actually was spiking my blood sugar and what I thought was and wasn't and what I thought wasn't and was. And so that was a fun little puzzle game to figure out. I don't think, I mean, I only did it for a total of probably 4 or 5, 6 weeks or something. I didn't have one on for, you mean you've had one on straight for a couple of years now, right? Or something like that.
3, maybe even 4. Yeah, but I mean, I'll take
So what are
breaks
you
for 2 weeks.
learning now? Or
Now,
what is the
I
advantage
know,
of
what's the value
having it
add?
on currently versus like I learned a lot in four
Right.
weeks, and by the end of the 4 weeks, I was like, all right, well, that's kind of all I eat.
Hmm.
I mean, there's weird stuff that's kind of fun to figure out, but I'm not going to eat it often enough that it's going
Enough
to
that it
affect my
matters, right?
life. And then I'm dialing in like, oh, well, this didn't spike it quite as much as when I went when I ate before my workout versus after. But it was already dialed into the point where I'm like the big ones, the crazy ones where I'm like, wow, mayonnaise just destroys me, or not going for a walk after I eat. Or going for a walk
Yeah.
after I eat is such a huge, I feel like I hit all the big ones that by the end of the 4 weeks or whatever, I was like, all right, well, I'm not super surprised anymore.
Yeah. Another big one is don't eat the bread before your meal because you'll just spike like crazy. But you can eat the bread just after the
Yeah,
meat or
eat
with
all
the
your
meat, with
vegetables
the, yeah.
first, then eat
Break
all
it open
your,
with salad. Yeah.
which is actually kind of fun
Which,
because when I cook dinner now, I'll make the salad. I'll be cooking and I'll make the salad and then I'll just eat the salad,
yeah.
which is nice because when I cook, that means I'm hungry. So by the time I'm cooking, by the time I'm done cooking, I went from hungry to absolutely starving,
Yeah.
in a matter of 6, 7 minutes or whatever. And so now I'll just eat the salad while I wait. It's totally fine, and I am guilt free. In fact, I'm proud of it. But I guess what I'm saying is, in year 3,
Yeah.
what are you really learning?
Well, I'm not the average person, not saying that you're average, but like you're not
The average customer,
experimenting like
yeah.
I am. And it took this long, my 70 weeks of bulking to see the trend that like my fasting glucose is way higher, my spikes are higher, I'm metabolically less well just because I'm actively tr eating a whole lot more and trying to put on weight.
Hmm.
So even I could get away with late meals before, and it wasn't the best for me, and I knew it. But now that I'm taking in so much more energy, those late meals destroy me much more. And I mean, I wouldn't know because I feel the same, and I'd be like, look, I added muscle and I feel awesome. But like getting close to pre-diabetes, that you can see it edging up, right? And
Now,
if I continue on that trend, that's where it will head.
right, and do you see that you see that spike in levels? Do you see do you see that in your sleep data? Especially because if
Yeah,
you're
my
eating right
HRV
before
is
bed.
lower when I'm sleeping. Yeah.
And
It's
it's all the
it's
same
like
Aura, Apple Watch, and
I'm
Eat
also
Sleep and
now
all this
using
stuff.
Ultra Human as well,
Ultra
and they
human.
all are like, "Did you
Yeah.
drink last night?" And I'm like, "Nope, it was pasta."
I chugged some marinara or some. Alfredo.
The one that's weird though is Whoop. Sometimes it'll be like, "You're great. You should go work out." And I definitely drank the night before, and all the other devices are telling me that I feel awful. Whoop has these anomalies where it doesn't calculate well. I think it's because they just use the last phase of your sleep for their data versus looking at the whole night. So it just
Right.
grabs your HRV at the end of the night. And so it could be like a
Ah,
weird thing blip that makes it say like green versus
right. That's
the rest of the
funny.
night sucked. Yeah. I feel
That's
bad for people who
funny.
have Whoop and not an Aura and a sleep mattress and a.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I was reading this article, I forget where, I think it was in Wired or maybe it was in, I don't know, one of the things, and it was ranking the best sleep trackers. And they were basically, it was Aura, 8 Sleep, Apple Watch, and then there was another one that I can't remember, or maybe
Oh
another
yeah,
two.
Apple Watch. I'm
But
not wearing
for
mine overnight. Ugh.
That's the only time I wear it. I wear it overnight and I wear it when I'm working out, and then it's right back on
Really?
the charger. Because I want to,
Does
I got into the habit of like sort of double checking the 8 Sleep to see if it was, just to see what it was, if one is wildly different from the other. And
mm,
they were always sort of in the same ballpark. I mean, sometimes they'd say, one of them would say you're doing pretty good, and one of them would say you're just doing good. But they would never be like, one would never say you're great, and one would never say, while the other one says
yeah.
you're terrible. But that was the crux of the argument. The article that I read was he went and he tested all of these wearables with a in a sleep lab while he was, you know
Mm.
what I mean, with the actual, the highest level, whatever it's called, so sleep scientists, and actual brain scans and stuff like that.
And his sleep's all messed up now because he's not sleeping in his own home though.
Well, but the tracking should be the same. If his sleep's
Oh
messed
yeah, I
up,
guess if it messed up
everything should
sleep
say
in
you're
all
messed
of them,
up.
yeah.
And it was so wildly inconsistent. Night one, right on. Night two, 50% off. Night three, 25% off. Night
For all
four,
of them?
right on. And in different orders.
Oh geez.
And so
Yeah.
basically the what the conclusion of the argument was,
Hey buddy.
they're all pretty good at seeing general trends. And but none of them are really dialed in to the point where you can like trust it.
Oh yeah, I got 10
Either
more minutes of
clearly
deep
this
sleep.
one, or, well, remember that other article we were talking about where they were, or somebody was saying like sleep phases are actually kind of a weird, that's not even a real thing, they're just
BS,
sort of
yeah,
a
the
general thing.
Rise 9 founder. Or
And
not Rise
so
9, Rise.
the yeah, rise down.
No, that's a different influencer thing. Just Rise
Oh,
Science, right?
rise
Yeah.
9, oh gosh, yeah, that was the car thing, the auto show. Anyway, the whole thing was, the wearables are good for getting general sense of where you're at and where you're trending. But if you
Over
want
the
real
long term, yeah.
specific, none of them are really going to do that well. But they're all pretty good. So whatever you
Yeah.
got, just go for it. So it's kind of funny that, you're comparing all these things, because I wonder how often they're on and how often they're way off. And even if one of them's way off tonight, they're probably on tomorrow, or
Right.
I don't know. So that was my experiment with the 8 Sleep versus the Apple Watch, and they were generally pretty close. The depressing thing is it knows, for like to a T, when I've had any cocktails at all.
Yeah.
When I've smelled a beer, they're like, "Whoa, whoa, dude, whoa, you're trashed," and I'm like, "You got me, you got me
Yeah.
again."
Yeah. Although my blood sugar, so I drank two mixed drinks last night, cocktails,
Mm,
and my blood sugar was lovely all night.
mm,
That's so
interesting.
dumb. I know. But I know that like all of my other devices, except for my Whoop, was like, you're fine. Are saying that I slept crappy and that cocktails are not good for you.
Yeah,
But I'm sure Levels battles with this because if you have wine before you have your bread, before you have your Italian meal, you will have a lower spike than if you didn't have that wine. And that does not mean that wine is better for you metabolically,
right.
because over time that's going to screw you and actual move those numbers up trend wise, but acutely. you're getting all the signals like, oh yeah, have a shot of whiskey before your carbs because that's a better move.
Right. It typically is have a shot of whiskey before you do anything is a better move, I would say, generally.
Chris Duffin, I PR'd my deadlift because he told me
Yeah.
to have a
Before
shot of whiskey
you
before it.
are going to your high school reunion, before you're deadlifting, before you're,
Church,
before you're going to church. There's wine in church. I mean, come
your
on.
kid's graduation,
Sure. Your kid's conception.
mm, working heavy machinery.
Yeah. You want to just relax around. You can't be too nervous around that heavy machinery. Should I just reach it? No, should I reach it? I'll just grab.
That guy is sober.
Yeah, I know. Sober as a bird. I'm sober as a bird.
Is
I
that a
don't know.
saying?
It's yeah, I'm sober
So
as a
then,
bird.
what's the opposite of a bird? I'd be drunk as a worm.
Skunk.
Drunk as a skunk. Oh, that's great. I didn't know that birds were the opposite of skunks.
Yes, well now you do.
Anyway, um, Apple Watch doesn't tell you your HRV unless you have a different app called Athletic, which will unlock that data. So I'm just saying, if you wanted
Is that
to,
is that a paid app?
yeah, I can connect you with the guy
Unbelievable.
if you're going to be cheap about the $5.
No, no, I'm not.
Okay.
I don't. It's not about the money. It's the principle of so you have this data and you're just hoarding it behind a paywall. Like, thanks, guys. That's awesome. So great.
Well,
Thanks,
Apple
thanks.
has the data and they're not even giving it to us. I think probably because they don't trust it. It's probably not
Oh,
good enough
interesting.
yet for them to
They
be
don't.
like, here's your HRV, because why wouldn't they try and
Right.
compete with these other ones in that way?
But they don't want to
But
get it
they're measuring
wrong
it.
and then have like backlash of like, wow, this is way off. This is not a trustworthy wearable statistic or
Whereas
statistic from
Whoop
this
doesn't give
wearable.
a crap. They're like, I don't know, here's a 7,
Green, yellow,
5.
who gives it,
Who
who
cares?
whatever. It's a
64.
stoplight, just a big stoplight.
Yeah. And I solved all that with my wearable, obviously.
Hmm, smart.
Do you still wear yours?
Uh
Do you not want to be awesome today?
I don't know where it is. I think you made me take it off one time.
I made
Oh,
you.
it's in my other drawer.
Okay.
But I have this certificate of authenticity.
Ah, yes. I see you have an art degree, an ART.
Yeah, I almost got a fine art degree.
Because you're fine? Oh, fart. That's funny.
There you go.
That's funny.
You know something's funny when someone doesn't laugh at all and just says that's funny. I love that. I love that. So,
Oh.
wow, that was really funny, actually.
Wait, isn't it uncomfortable sleeping with the Apple Watch? Ugh.
I
It,
used to sleep. I mean, have you seen my old watch that I used to sleep with?
what, Garmin or something?
This is my regular watch. It's just a watch. Okay. This is my giant metal,
You would sleep
murderous
with that?
plank. I
You
would
need to know
wear,
what time it is while you're unconscious?
I would barely take it off. I wouldn't even realize. And you know how much this weighs? Almost a pound, I think.
That's
Maybe.
why your one arm's bigger.
And you know what's crazy? I completely forget that it's on my left wrist. If I put it on my right wrist all day, I'm like, what is this? Oh, it's dragging me down. I'm getting what are these chains? It is insane and enormous, and I would clock people in the head with it all the time, and it hurts bad. And yeah, I just thought it was like a really cool looking watch. I really liked it, and then I got so used to it that it didn't even I didn't even notice when I was wearing it, even though it's hilariously giant and oversized and metal and heavy and absurd.
There's a company that makes women's jewelry that's heavy,
Mm.
specifically for that workout reason, like 2 and 3 pound.
Oh, like ankle weights, an
Yeah, but
anklet.
like bracelets. I don't remember the name of the company, but it was, yeah, like similar to the idea where I was wearing ankle weights.
Yeah.
24/7 or that my weight vest.
The Wade vest. Yeah, that was
Hey.
this watch actually, it I wore it in the pool and it broke. And I took it to a watch guy and he was like, "Yeah, there's a lot of water damage in here." And so then I emailed them, the watch company, and I was like, "Hey, my watch is supposed to be waterproof, and it broke in the water. Can you fix it or what do I do?" And they were like, "Well, you're not really supposed to wear it like in the water. It's not I don't know if that's going to be under it was a free watch, it was a whatever. But still, they didn't know that. And so I sent them a screenshot of the ad for the watch, and the watch is called like the Submariner, and there's a guy on a yacht like skiffing the jib or whatever, and he's on a yacht, and I'm like, really? Because that's the ad, and it says waterproof all over the place.
Not water resistant, waterproof.
Yeah, or maybe
Wow.
like water resistant up to a mile or something. I'm like, I went into my pool. I didn't like go deep shark fishing or whatever. And they were like, yeah, all right, we'll send you a new one. But then I'm pretty sure they took the ad down after that.
Because of you.
But maybe not just in life because they were.
So that's your second one of that watch?
Yeah, I had them just replace it.
Hmm.
Um, this is years ago. They sent them out for like men's lifestyle create content or whatever. And so I got one. It's awesome. It's an awesome company, although I think they shut down. But I get people ask me, guys ask me about it all the time. Women hate this watch. I think it's because they've been clocked in the head by some giant, you know, dumbbell sized or uh, plate
Yeah.
plate
Weight
sized
plate.
wristwatch. Um, but yeah, guys ask. It's a great watch.
So you
But
would sleep
then
in that, but you switched to
So
Apple.
I used to just never take it off. And then over the past year, for one reason or another, I have gone from one watch to six. People just like sent me a lot of brand deal watches, and I got Brittany a new Apple Watch, so she gave me her old one. That's the one I'm using now.
Hmm.
Um, that's the other reason why the charge doesn't last all day. So I wear it overnight, and the charge lasts because I'm not using it. And then if I
Yeah.
work out, the charge lasts, but the charge probably lasts about 12 hours if you're actually using the Apple Watch.
No, two. Mine works
Two?
for two. Because
What do
I
you have an Apple
accidentally,
Watch
for a
version
week
zero?
straight, I took it in the sauna and fried
Oh, you
it.
can't take it in the sun.
Well, I didn't know that. Why wouldn't it? I want to know my heart rate while I'm in the sauna. That's interesting. We talked about it with the
What do you
sauna
think happens to
guy.
technology when you like microwave it or
It's not microwave. It's just,
you're just lighting it on fire? Yeah. You're putting it on over the fire. It's not on fire. You're right. It's just on top of a fire. Why don't
it's
you just
not
put it in a frying
technology. It's
pan?
specifically the battery. It swells. I destroyed my GoPro too, but not
GoPro.
the GoPro's fine. It's just the battery doesn't come out because it's swelled and it's so thick.
Last time I was in a public sauna at like a gym. It was a
Yeah.
crappy gym, but there's a guy and he was on his phone, and I'm like sweating bombs, and I'm like, you shouldn't be on your phone. Your phone's going to explode. And then he took a FaceTime call in front of all of us, and we're just
Your
random
phone will
people.
explode not in a sauna taking a FaceTime call.
And then he's like hitting on this girl in front of all of us, and he's like, "What's up, baby? Like, turn around. Let me see that. Let me see the back of that dress." And I'm like, what is happening right now? I mean, it was a some trashy LA Fitness,
Yeah, what the hell?
$10 a month trash.
Were there
Uh,
men around him nude? Because that's a common thing in
Nobody
the
was
sauna.
nude. It
Okay.
was a co-ed sauna, which basically means they only have one sauna.
Yeah.
It's not like a progressive thing. It's not like a co-ed restroom, or it's like they're like, we only built one, so it's co-ed now.
Keep your bathing suit on.
Right. And so people would go in with their bathing suits or shorts and a t-shirt or whatever. You had to wear shoes, footwear.
Footwear, really. People gave me so much crap for going in the sauna. I did a sauna video and I was in shoes
If it's a why were you in shoes?
because I would also go without shoes and it was hard to put the shoes back on to get home. I just wanted to get in the sauna and get out.
Right.
And also they're barefoot shoes, so they're barely anything. It's just like
And
wearing
also
rubber.
heat rises. I don't know if anybody went
Yeah,
to
I
grade
know.
school. So like who cares? Your feet are not gonna get a crazy difference. And also, especially if it's a public, I mean, if it's a private one, then that's sort of moot because it's just your germs. But if it's a
Right,
public sauna, there's a reason that people wear shower slippers or
right.
shower flip flops or whatever. You know, that's germs like transmit. Like that's
You
how
get
it works.
hookworm through your feet. I don't know if
It's
that's gonna happen
gross.
at high mat, but yeah, if I was gonna go barefoot, I should have brought flip
I
flops. You're
wouldn't
right.
assume anything about anything. High Mat, I think, is sort of a fancy she fitness club, members only fitness, blah blah blah. But I'm sure there's some rich jerk off out there who's like, "Oh, I read this article from a shaman that said you should wash only the top half of your body. So I haven't bathed below the waist in 2 years." And then suddenly you're walking around barefoot in the same tile floor where like germs are, you know what I mean? And then, oh, you want to split an ice bath? Sure, of course. Yeah, I read this article where I'm not, my spiritual advisor told me to stop wiping my butt, but I'm sure it's not a big problem. Like anybody can be gross in any
There's a
way.
transition period, but then you're
Yeah.
fine after a
Oh, once you
month.
get past the diaper period, oh, it's amazing. Like it's gross. So I would caution against. In fact,
Yeah,
the only people that like know how to keep it clean are people that actually have had horrible situations. Like you'll never talk to a surgeon who doesn't know how to wash his hands. You'll never
yeah,
talk to like a um like wrestlers know what ringworm is. Swimmers know like how much they should shampoo because they've been in chlorine their whole life. Their hair is like brittle and straw like. Like
yeah.
it's people that have been in the trenches that you can actually like trust. I don't
You
know.
trust you to lose water weight.
Why did they gave you grief because you were wearing shoes in a public sauna? Is that what happened?
Yeah. Well, and I would also go in like a sports bra and shorts or
Uh-huh.
even leggings, which putting the leggings back on after having
Oh
sweat
my
in the sauna
God.
for 20 minutes, like I don't
Impossible.
have time for that. I'll just
That's
wash the leggings when I get home, thanks.
yeah. And yeah. I guess you're probably biking a lot more.
Yeah,
When
so
you
that
get
was
into
crazy.
sauna, you have to either get out and shower immediately, or you have to be wearing clothes that you can then make your way to a shower.
Right.
Or, you could wear flip-flops and stuff like that, but then what? Then you're just walking around with dried sweat all over you. That is horrifying.
Yeah, it would have been a lot more to pack clothes to then change at high mat, and I was doing it for a full month. And
Yeah,
so, yeah, I just go in the sauna after my workout. Oh, and I had to pack for my workout too, because obviously I need lifters and chalk that you got me, and uh, a tripod so I could film myself.
of course.
And that gets to be a lot. I don't need to change underwear too. I don't have
I
time.
can't wait until we have quieter drones so that we could just have floating
Oh yeah,
drone
stuff the
drone cameras
pockets,
all
air
around.
pockets. That's what we'll call them.
Amazing.
So you don't have to hold your beer, it just follows you around. Maybe there's a straw from it even.
Or maybe I'm just in a wheelchair and
Yeah,
it's just a
perfect.
feeding tube.
Yeah. And then you can have a watch drone too, so your arm doesn't get so
Oh, I
annoyed by your
know.
heavy watch.
I know. And then a condom drone to put a condom on for me when I you know. But they got to be quieter. That's really the thing that's holding drones back because they're so loud and obnoxious.
Yeah, in a very disturbing way. It's unsettling the sound that drones make. It's
Well, it's
like if
kind of
you
like a
were
bug. It's like a mechanical version of a not a cicada, but a those big beetles. You ever had a beetle like fly right
Yeah.
next to your ear, and all of a sudden you're like, "Wah! What? It's like that. Um,
Yeah, so in nature, we're already responding. We've evolved
yeah,
to not
it'll
like
just.
that sound, and now we make it mechanically. I don't know, how could they do that though? It feels like a physical limit. How could you make it quieter?
I don't know, and they probably haven't figured it. I mean, nature hasn't figured it out because they're still making those beetles. You know.
Yeah, but that might be a benefit. They may have evolved to make that sound
Did
so
you hear about
that,
these spiders that are coming to New York now?
oh dear.
That flying spiders that are neon yellow and blue, and they have 4 inch long legs. They make
No,
spider web parachutes, and they catch gusts of air, and then they fly from here to there. It's horrifying.
did someone bring it over on a plane or something?
Yeah, they're native to like Asia, Korea, I
Oh
think.
dear.
And somebody brought them over to like Georgia, and then now they're spreading up to New York, and you're like, great, fantastic. Just got to invest in birds, I guess. Birds eat spiders, right?
Yeah, probably, but then we have a bird infestation and we gotta get
Cats.
mountain lions. And now we have a mountain lion infestation
We
and
don't
we have
need
to
mountain
start
lions.
eating mountain lions.
Just get little cats. Cats can jump. We let my cat on the balcony, and he like we have also and we have a hummingbird feeder. It is the worst recipe because the hummingbirds just and the hummingbirds are kind of aggressive. They like dive bomb the cat, and I'm like, this is just gonna end in an incredible YouTube video, hopefully.
Yeah. Wait, I'm wondering as a cat, is a hummingbird like an awesome toy and like a very exciting thing to try and catch? Or is it the other way around and the hummingbird's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get after this thing?
I don't know because we gave him they make a mechanical toy that's like a little bird that squeaks and it moves on itself. It's so and he responds. He responds to it.
So the
Hey,
hummingbird
buddy.
attacks the cat? That is unexpected.
Doesn't attack. They never get close enough, but they'll like dive bomb and sort of like faint at him, give him a head fake.
Huh. Huh. Did you put the hummingbird feeder up?
No, Brittany put it up, and then she started making sugar water syrup. You make sugar water. You just boil water, you put sugar in it. It's pretty complicated. And then,
That
but
also how you make it for drinking? Simple syrup, making
yep.
cocktails? Yeah.
I think it's the amount of sugar is different because she's made batches that they don't like, and then she's made batches like it's just literally 50 hummingbirds, or maybe, I mean, I guess I'm kind of guessing that they're different, but that there's 50 different ones, but there's one constantly coming in all day long until the jug is empty.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a crazy one. Also, my Crocs are on the porch, are on the balcony, and I left them in the sun. I left them out there because they're like my balcony because we get some dust and they shrank. They shrank so much that Brittany cannot fit them on her feet.
They're just a croc keychain now.
I think if I leave them out there, they'll get down there because I think they're still going. But if you
Wow.
leave, so that's the pro tip. If you leave Crocs in the sun, they will shrink multiple sizes. They'll shrink by a factor of, 1.5 or two, or like it's
Interesting.
nuts. Nuts.
Wow.
So Crocs. I like Crocs, but I didn't know they had that sort of Achilles heel to them.
Ah, for everybody who's not watching the visual podcast, he rolled his eyes before delivering that monster pun.
It's not even a pun. It's like a stupid-ish joke, or it's like that's like a joke where someone's like, you know what I mean?
Meanwhile, I'm shouting
Right? Yeah.
and describing it in detail. We just have different senses of humor, obviously.
Um, did you know that Crocs have now become a trendy-ish gym footwear?
No. What? Mario Batali brought it into the kitchen, which I still
It's
don't
the
understand because you can pour that like knife through the hole with a dropping boiling water.
well, I think the, the people find the foaminess, the foam, whatever you call that, the hard foam or whatever, hard rubber, soft rubber, hard foam. They find that very comfortable if they're going to be on their feet all day versus Converse, very flat sneaker, or versus some of the other shoes that like chefs had to wear. And also, if you spill stuff on your sneaker, it can stain the sneaker.
All right, yeah, Crocs are bulletproof except for the sun.
Crocs are waterproof or liquid proof, and they float. So I got my Crocs because they float. I got them for fishing. I was going fishing. They're also, if you're in bare feet in your Crocs and you're getting wet, like for example, if your foot starts to sweat or if you spill water on it, or if you're ankle deep in a river fishing, they're extremely slippery. So they're actually terrible for
Uh,
fishing. They're like one of the worst shoes you can get for fishing, which I didn't know. But they float. So that was my other plan, was that like I'll just kick these shoes off and I'll just let them float. I forgot about the current of a river, for example. So I just put it there and then all of a sudden it was, 40 feet that
yeah,
way and I had to run through a river and catch my own Crocs. So they're not great for fishing, but they are water liquid proof and
squishy, right? So the reason that
very
a
squishy.
chef would want them is the reason that somebody squatting would not want them because force production, it's not as beneficial to have that force loss squishing the shoe. You want to be, in fact, barefoot when you're lifting.
I believe they're popular with traditional bodybuilding style workout people, not hit workouts, obviously. But they're popular because they'll wear them, they'll go and do lateral raises, shoulder presses, upper body stuff. Then they'll walk over to the deadlift bar, step out of the Crocs, deadlift barefoot, step back into the Crocs,
Mm.
go do whatever. I
But
think
even
it's
if you're
just,
doing lat raises, you're
I know.
losing some energy into the ground or seated uh delt press. You're pushing your feet into the ground to help you force production upward. It's still affecting
Oh,
you.
you put your feet on the ground when you're in a seated delt press?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you leaving gains on the floor? Hun.
I gains, floor gains. I don't know if I do. You mean military press? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. But like single arm
So
seated.
yeah, I guess oh, actually, I do some weird stuff when I do. I love that shoulder press. I call that a shoulder press. You just take something, you push it straight up in the air. One of my favorite exercises. And I do them a couple of weird ways. One is my favorite was barbell standing. Because then you have to push your head forward and it's actually like, it felt like more of a real world application. So all those mini muscles that everybody talks
Yeah.
about, I felt like that was
It is
something
a
that was
compound
actually
movement.
useful.
It used to be in the Olympics.
I Yeah, but was it just a strict press or was it like a push press?
No, the well, it's, um, jerk still in the Olympics, but a
Yeah.
strict press was, and then people were like bending so
Yeah.
much that it was
Like
basically
breaking their own, someone was
like
going
a
to break their own
standing bench
spine.
press.
So now I do what I really like is cable shoulder presses, which is
Hmm.
a little weird, but I can load it up like a ton. And then if I drop it, I just drop the cable. It's not a big deal. It's not going to break my foot. It's not going to break the floor. If I'm doing dumbbell shoulder presses, I I used to like the short backed bench. Do you know how like some workout benches are flat and then you can adjust it so it comes up?
Yeah.
And then some gyms had like the one that was a right angle anyway. And then some of them the back was really tall, it would go up to your neck, and some of them would only go up to like the small of your back. I
Hmm.
liked the short backed one. That was my favorite. Now what I do is I take the adjustable bench and I don't, the back isn't 90 degrees. It's probably like 45. And then I sort of straddle the,
You face forward like a Fonzie?
no, 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 no. My back is still to the back of the bench, but my back is not touching the back of the bench.
Okay.
But the angle of the bench sort of supports like my butt a little bit. So I'm sitting forward, but I still have to
Oh,
stabilize myself with my whole, not, I
interesting.
don't know if it's a
You make that
core, but
up?
it's like a, yeah, I just made it up.
Hmm.
It just felt like this is a funny way to do this. And also the dumbbells, I only have dumbbells that go up to 50. So I can sort
Only?
of mess
I can
around with
barely
it like
lunge
that.
that. What the?
Lunge, you could lunge 50s. Oh my God.
I got up to 65 when I was doing it. Whatever. Anyway,
When I had a full back support and I would go to a real gym and I put them on my legs and I kick them up with each knee push, then I could get
50s.
up. I can do 50s regular now.
You're not talking bench, you're talking
Shoulder
overhead.
press,
What
straight
the?
up and down. People do like
Wow.
hundreds of that.
I
People
know, but
literally do.
that's and they're on steroids and and stanimal sized.
Yeah, but they look like they can do that. Yeah, no. That's the worst.
Ah,
But I found military press. I call it with a barbell, I would call it military press. With dumbbells,
yeah.
I would call that shoulder press. I
Well, there's
find it
also
to,
overhead press. It's all they're all the same.
what is overhead press is this, we're talking about the
Is a
same.
military press.
Yeah.
Is
But I
a
thought military press meant
strict press.
barbell.
Oh.
I don't know. That's just how it was explained to me.
I'm pretty sure in CrossFit OHP is the
Overhead
same thing as the
press.
as military press,
Yeah,
but
but
I
they're
don't know.
like sort of jumping. They're holding a
No, that's
barbell
a
so they
jerk.
look cool. And no,
Yeah.
they're like doing a little, yes, they're not
Right. They
like
use hip thrust because it's
squat, but
force
they're,
production.
they're
It's
just
about
bumping.
horsepower, not whatever.
Right.
It's about energy used. I don't know. I do I still have my L1 or did it lapse? I'm
Um,
qualified to open a CrossFit gym.
can you open one and how many, so if you open a CrossFit gym, do you have to like pay dues and stuff, or can you just open one and then have
No,
no,
you have to pay to use the word CrossFit for sure.
well,
Which fine. I'm gonna do it in my car. I'm gonna pay dues to open a CrossFit gym in my car.
that's what I mean. Open a CrossFit gym and I'll be the only member. And then
Yeah.
I'll have all of the records.
He's our top performer. He can overhead press 50s.
Yeah, he did a sit-up once.
I do have what,
That's the record.
65s, 60s. He did a sit-up once. That is the record. He's the simultaneously fastest and slowest.
Number one and number last.
Huh,
What would
wait,
you
I wanted
call
to
it?
ask you.
It's CrossFit. They have these stupid names. Like, why are they all called Sandbox?
Box.
It's
Because that's
called a
the
CrossFit box, but then
yeah.
why do they call them like they? I feel
Corny
like I
puns?
know. Is it that that's it? They're puns. They're
Yeah,
fitness
I'm
people.
pretty
They're
sure.
fitness people coming up with puns. There you go. I answered my own question. I apologize.
Yep, that's fine. We got there.
Uh, so stupid.
I should get back into it. Well, now that I'm cutting, I need more cardio. Also, because I'm metabolically unfit, I need more cardio. I'm gonna start doing zone two. It's so trendy. Have you heard?
Uh,
Zone
is
two is the
zone two
Crocs of
the
working out.
is that the incline treadmill of working
Yeah,
out?
basically, you get your heart rate up enough that talking is hard.
Well, may I please invite you? I just found a lap pool near my house. I think I'm gonna start swimming again.
Cool.
You want to come swimming?
Yeah,
We'd actually
outdoor,
have to
indoor.
swim laps. We can't just like splash each other and call it a workout, which is
Oh,
what I thought. I'm like,
you just
yeah,
show up with
fun.
cocktails.
I'll do that like that squirt thing where you make a
Yeah.
fist with your
No,
hand.
Stop it, Max. I didn't want to get my hair wet.
And I got my wings on. I'm like, watch this, Allie. Allie? You're not watching, Allie, Allie.
I'm looking. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a
Um,
lap pool near my house.
and you want to start swimming?
I so what happened is, my knee is messed up, and every year or 6 months I tweak it, and I think, oh, I guess I need a new knee, and then I stop doing any sort of jumping or any sort of. I'm very, very careful with my lunges or squats or whatever. My leg day also just plummets because I'm like paranoid about it. Then I can't run. I don't like, I don't love jogging, but I like getting outside. I like running with the dog, and but then I can't do that anymore. And so I'm just like real paranoid about everything. And so yeah, I figured swimming would be like a nice little non-joint horrifying, not horrifying to my knee type exercise. My poor knee is like, please, please, no.
Yeah. And um, I mean, we were talking about the hassle of doing a sauna. There's a hassle there though. It's even worse for a pool,
Well, what's the hassle? I'm gonna take a shower anyway.
I guess. I don't know. Like you're talking about your hair being straw, and your
Yeah.
skin gets all screwy.
Well, unfortunately for you, or fortunately for me, my skin does very well in the sun. And my hair is short enough that chlorine's not going to affect it that much because I'll just cut it off. I will half it in 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Every 2 to 4 weeks, I will half my hair. So
But also just like being wet, you know what I mean? That is more of a hassle than overhead pressing. Just the towel, the change of
really,
clothes.
you don't like being
Yeah.
wet? Wow, we had different childhoods, I think.
Yeah, for sure. No question.
I love pools and oceans and saunas, steam rooms. I love sweating uncontrollably during a workout. Yeah, I loved being, I don't know if I loved, I am very comfortable being sopping wet.
Well, I'm excited for this journey for you. I feel like it's a good move. Can you bring the dog in the lap pool? Does your lift with
Um,
you?
he is in his shedding. You're cutting, he's shedding right now. So
Uh, it's
I
summer.
don't
You
think I want to
gotta
drag him into the,
lose that
but
fluff.
the reason I found it was there's a big park right next to it. This is how stupid I am. I used to go to this coffee shop all the time. It's near my house. They have a great egg sandwich, egg, sausage, and I think they make their own English muffin. It's spectacular. One day I was there with the dog, and I'm like, I should let him just go to the park and what. Oh, look, there's this on Google Maps. There's like a square of green or a green rectangle. I wonder if that's a thing. I walked down a block, 2 blocks from this coffee shop that I've been going to all the time for like a year. There's a really nice park right next to the coffee. I could have been grabbing coffee and a sandwich, walking onto the park, sit in a park bench, eat my food, let the dog run around. I do that now, but
Yeah.
it's just it's a waste of like 18 months of me not doing that. And then, oops, guess what? There's also a lap pool right there that I then
Let's
found
go.
after 5 park trips. It's like the other half of having the entire world's geography at my fingertips was the limit was my ability to search. So me just walking around exploring a little bit, I found out 3 awesome things and that I hadn't thought to search for. So
Right.
anyway, now there's a lap pool near the house. There's a park nearby that the dog can run around. It's wonderful. It's a
Living the
smallish
dream.
park. Yeah. The only there's old people doing Tai Chi in the mornings, which is another thing I really find interesting, but I
Love
never
that.
got into.
At
There's
what
little
age do we get to
kids,
start?
right? Um,
Is it Tai Chi time yet?
77, I think.
Okay. So next year for
Uh,
me.
sounds good.
Um, What is your plan? You just gonna do laps, or do you have some sort of workout plan where you're gonna sprint and like some sort of hit thing? How does one
Um,
swim as a workout? I've only ever just done as many as I could, and then like
well, I
then
think
we're
that's a good
done.
start. And I
Mm,
think if you're getting into lap swimming, the first couple of times, just go until you get tired and then get out.
yeah.
There's different um I think one of the easiest ways to do it is you figure out the meters in the pool. A lot of the short courses are 25 meters, a lot of the long courses are 50 meters. And then you do sets, a warm up of 50, and then you do four sets of 100 or two sets of 100 or whatever. Um, I think your swimming lungs kind of take a while to get in and out of, kind of like your wrestling lungs, kind of like your biking lungs, kind of like when
They're
you stop
different
smoking
lungs too.
cigarette lungs. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Which you've dealt with all of those. Maybe not the
It's,
biking.
yeah, exactly. Like more like triking.
Triking lungs. Gotta get my triking lungs back.
My stage bike.
Stage.
So I
Wait.
think,
Okay, so
but
yeah,
so I think, yeah, in the beginning, you just go until
you
you get
just do
tired
it.
and then you get out. Then I think you can look up sort of um, longer, shortish versions of what you want to do. A lot of times, what they say is like you sprint one length of the pool and then sort of casually swim back. I think one of the biggest
Okay.
issues for me is, knowing what a slow versus a sprint is.
Yeah.
Because you kind of, a sprint
And
really
how
is a
often you
sprint,
breathe.
and a slow is a really a lot slower. You got to figure out if you know how to swim strokes. I
Yeah,
can
are
do
you
a
gonna freestyle
breaststroke
or like
incredibly
change it up?
well. I can freestyle okay. Backstroke is fine, but I just, I have to like
It
get
feels
over
like I'm not
mentally.
moving at all. Backstroke is just one spot.
Backstroke is just like, I'm gonna hit my head. I'm gonna hit my head. I'm gonna hit my head. Why am I doing this? I'm gonna hit my head. I'm gonna hit my
For
head.
1 hour, it's just over and over in your head.
That's the workout. It's
Uh,
it's a mental strain, really.
uh.
You're just living under the sword of Damocles for, a full length of the pool.
So swimming, because you're holding your breath while you're working out, actually increases your lung capacity, whereas running just increases your efficiency at using that air. So you're not actually any of that
Yeah.
cardio that you mentioned doesn't increase your lung capacity like people think. It's only when you're holding your breath and working out. And
Right. And
now,
swimming has a lot of weird benefits too, like keeping your body warm for that long
oh
is
yeah,
like another
you
added
can just eat 10,000
calorie
calories
drain.
like Michael Phelps now.
Well, you can, but I shouldn't. But also swimming makes you, I think it's pretty, I don't know if it's been proven, but I'm pretty sure it has, is that swimming makes you hungry.
Oh,
Like like sauna, sometimes people get hungry and sometimes people like it squashes
opposite.
their,
Well, being
and
in the sun is usually the confounding variable for me from swimming. And so, which one is it? But I'm starving.
compounding. What did you
Compounding?
say? Which one is it?
Oh
Is it
no.
both? Oh no.
It
Constellation.
is, yeah, yeah, a casual inference confounder. Yeah, it's confounding variable.
um,
Yeah, I tried typing in compounding and it's mad at me and saying it's confounding. Anyway, um, yeah, so swimming makes you tired?
it doesn't
He's,
it doesn't make me tired. I don't know, it's hard because I never have a problem falling asleep.
oh no, sorry, hungry is what we're talking about.
Hungry, it definitely makes me hungry. And then also I have that sort of mental thing where I'm like, oh, swimmers
Oh
should
yeah,
eat
I'm sure.
10,000 calories worth of food. I have that mental
Right.
image of Phelps with the seven milkshakes and three sub sandwiches and a pound of waffles
Yeah.
and so I have no sort of, I have the green light to just go to wherever and get a, foot long meatball sub and be like, well, I was in the pool, so
You go to TSA.
yeah.
That's where you went with it. Okay, so I've been thinking about swimming a lot lately, which is weird that you brought it up, and I probably still won't do it, but
Do
this
you
is a
have a
quick
bathing suit?
journey, but stick with me here. I've been using Batiste dry shampoo. my whole life. And very recently it came out that it is absolutely terrible for you.
You use
Worse
dry
than other
shampoo
dry
your whole
shampoos.
life?
Well, yeah, for a long time. I mean, obviously not when I was
Yeah, but
one.
for your adult life, when you can make your own
Right.
decisions.
Yeah, and so you should not be using it for various chemical reasons. And I tried a bunch of other different ones, and I use other ones that are, I mean, at this point, my mom gave me a sock with cornstarch in it, which works really well. Not as well as Batiste. So if there's a
Uh-huh.
day where I specifically need to look good on a red carpet or am have a close up on camera or whatever it is, I will
Right.
still use the death chemicals.
Yeah. It's the tanning bed scenario.
What?
Tanning bed's real bad for you. But if I gotta look my best,
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And I have yet to buy new ones. I'm still getting through the ones that I had and so now once I'm out, then I gotta really commit to like, well, I'm gonna shorten my lifespan to have better hair on camera. Anyway,
what would be interesting is I guess it would not be interesting, but it's like when they figured out cigarettes was like 8 minutes off your life or whatever.
oh, each cigarette.
They figured out one cigarette was 8 minutes off your life, which actually had the opposite effect because everyone would just light up a cigarette and be like, whatever, 8 minutes, who cares?
I'm
You
gonna be
know,
sick anyway. I don't want to be alive.
forgetting about that's their 10th cigarette of the day, or you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like it's
adds up.
but
That's
anyway,
really
so
funny.
you
Well, I was trying to figure that out when we had on the epigenetic woman most recently, with alcohol.
yeah, I don't think it's not a valuable statistic to know, but anyway.
No. Okay, so when I use it, I hold my breath and do it and then get out of the bathroom. So at least I'm not breathing in the whole cloud, right? I don't know if that makes a difference. It feels like it does because I certainly don't smell it as much.
Mhm.
And I've recently realized I cannot hold my breath that long. It's maybe 30 seconds and I start, you feel your diaphragm try and pull air in. And I'm like, geez, if I ever accidentally fell off a cruise ship because I drank too much, why would that um I would not be okay. Like any
Bell,
amount of time underwater
you
and
drink
I'm
too
pretty
much, you're
much
not
done.
falling. You're like, somebody dare me to do it. Dare me
Yeah.
to do it. And everyone's like, no, Spags, no one's daring you to do it. And you're like, I heard dare.
Snapchatting as I fall. Ah,
So
yeah,
you're worried
so
about your
I can't
air,
hold my breath
water,
for any
lung
amount of time.
capacity?
And then it's going through my brain like, I'm never around water. Why am I concerned that I would have the ability
That's
to
a
hold my
concern. That's a valid
right? I
concern.
guess it's a valid concern,
A,
but is it I'm
what
scared of
about a
water?
fire? B, what if something
Oh,
stinks? C,
something
we're near
stinks.
water. You are near water. We're not in Iowa.
It's
You know what I
true.
mean?
Well, and all the breath people we've had on, improving your ability to hold your breath is somehow important to your cardiovascular health.
I'll buy it.
There's that test that you do where they're like, hold your breath, and the first time you feel your diaphragm, jerk to pull in air is a measure of your whatever fitness, and then you need to increase that. And there are exercises to figure out how to increase that.
You
Anyway,
want to do
mine's
it right
really
now?
bad,
It'll
and
be
I know
terrible.
because of Batiste.
Ugh. All right. This is terrible for the podcast. Should we do it right now? No, it's fine. We'll do it after. Just record
Oh,
on mic.
audio wise, it's just gonna be silence. Yeah. Hold on, let's find the test and know exactly what it is. Oh yeah. This is not a good podcast. This is like Howard Stern bringing on naked women.
Well, 10 seconds because I laughed.
People with healthy lungs should be able to hold their breath for 30 to 60 seconds. Okay, I don't
Yeah.
trust doctoroncall.com.
And also, wow, why not? He's on call. If you hyperventilate a little bit
Ruteko
earlier,
breathing.
if you
Yeah, that's the.
hyperventilate a little bit earlier, it'll help you hold your
Oh
breath
yeah.
longer.
I started doing that too. I would hyperventilate before doing my hair. How stupid. But it's like I don't if you get shoved off a boat, you don't have that hyperventilation time. Your body
Right.
should be prepared.
Depends on how tall the boat is, I guess. I'm falling. Wait, I remember. Hold on. Let me set my Apple Watch.
Okay. It's called a control pause. Take a small silent breath in, a small silent breath out. Hold your nose with your fingers to prevent air from entering your lungs. Count how many seconds until you feel the first signs of air hunger. Air hunger. Oh my God, there's this whole CO2
Air
tolerance thing
hunger.
where CrossFitters that are so fit, they have such a high CO2 tolerance that they'll pass out because their body just doesn't take in oxygen because it doesn't think it needs it
Ugh. You're so
because they
you
can deal
made
with
your
so much
body
CO2.
you made
Yeah.
your body stupid. You
Uh,
turned your body into the dumb jock of
uh,
you see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Your body is the dumb jock who like is good at football but has terrible SATs. Or drinks doesn't know how many beers is too many. Your body like DUIs. That's what happens. You work out so much that your body gets a DUI.
I'm fine. I'll tell you when I've had enough.
Yeah. God, that's so stupid.
Okay.
Well,
So,
it sounds like because I used to really like
yeah.
swimming in the ocean. That was my other last. I've done this. I've actually gone through this into same mental exercise before, but I jerked my knee clean and jerked my knee. I don't know. I did something. Actually, I know what I did. I tried to slow down. I was running and I tried to slow down. And the way that's actually a really good life lesson. I don't know the last time you
Deceleration.
ran is, but if you're
Never.
sprinting and you want to slow down, point your toes as you slow down. Do not continue to run and then or sprint and then try to turn into jogging because jogging is heel toe. Sprinting is toe basically.
Yeah.
So if you're toe sprinting and then you try to transition into the way it's comfortable for you to slow down is you think, oh, I should just start jogging, and then you start jogging, your heel goes forward, and then as you're running, you're like you'll jerk your heel, and then it this is what happened to me.
Yeah.
It like kachinked my
Oh
knee
no.
funny, and so
Uh-uh.
now is next time you like try it, and it works incredibly well.
Stay
Um,
on your toes. Yeah, run like you're
stay
barefoot.
on your toes and just run slow down, but on your toes. So anyway,
Yeah.
tweak my knee jogging on the PCH, which was also one of the dumbest things I've ever done. There's so many car accidents. There's so many auto
You just went for
fatalities.
a run?
Well, I would run down the PCH and then I'd hop the little barrier
Yeah.
thing onto the beach. But um, some of the ways I was trying to go, it was easier to run on the road for 100 yards than to like there was a beach club or a country club that I would essentially trespass through, and
Hmm.
I'd felt like a jerk. Like once, and I would do it hungover, and I would, I'd stop and dry heave, and I'd look over, and there would be like a 12-year-old's birthday party or something, and I'd be like, "Hey kids, how you doing? Don't mind me," you know. So I decided
Next
to
morning,
run.
ham sandwich match.
Yeah. So anyway, I tweaked my knee, and then I started swimming in the ocean a lot, which was really cool, but it was
That's
really difficult
terrifying.
to do distance in the ocean because it's
Yeah,
cold.
we talk about moving anywhere.
You
When you
know,
go
there's
out or you go
waves,
across,
so you go out and then you go parallel to the shore.
I feel like I
But
wouldn't
you
do
have to get
parallel. I'd
over.
steadily start going further out
Yeah,
and
well,
then
you either
suddenly I
go
can't get back
away or
in.
closer. And there's waves, and it was just really hard. And also, I'm not that I'm very confident in the water, but I'm not a swimmer. I don't know the strokes. I'm not very good at rotary breathing and all this stuff. And
Butterfly.
so I can kind of butterfly, but not really.
Really?
Um, I would say more not really than kind of.
Yeah.
But and so then the real crux of it is I got scared of sharks all of a sudden. And then I was like, all right, I'm done. Enough of the ocean. That's it
What
for
was
me.
that change? Where'd that come from?
I was paddleboarding and I would paddleboard out and sort of just sit on my paddleboard, which is really fun because the paddleboard's like wider and long. It's more stable than a surfboard because you
Mm,
stand on it and you paddle.
it's thick and yeah,
Yeah, and it's taller.
you're not going anywhere.
And so I would sit on there, and it was actually really cool and peaceful and everything. And then one day, a sea lion like popped his head up 3 feet from me,
Cool.
And I was like, wow, this is awesome. It's like I'm in a Disney movie. This is so cool. And then he just sat
Started
there and
singing
looked at
like
me.
Ariel.
Yeah, we had a nice duet. And then he swam away. And I was like, wow, it's crazy. I can't even see him. And he popped head underwater and then he swam and he was gone. I couldn't even see him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's actually kind of crazy that he got that close to me and I had no idea. And that I saw him swim away and he like disappeared instantly. I don't know. And then I was in Malibu, so there's all these reports of sharks and shark attacks and stuff like that. And I was like, how did he get that close? And I had no idea. And then I saw another one on the beach, just like sunning himself, and he was huge, bigger than me, way bigger than me.
It
And
says
I'm
that you're
like,
afraid of sea lions, not sharks.
well, I don't think I'd be afraid of a sea lion, but that's the benchmark that I'm seeing in real time. And
Yeah.
that's like how close he got and he didn't do anything. And that's how big that one is. And now imagine a shark and that one's gonna bite. That one might mess with me. Whereas sea lion's just gonna like nudge me and then go away and be like, you're stupid, you're ugly, you're
Well,
not
you were out
funny.
of tune.
Right. How dare you? I didn't do my vocal. Blah, 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 blah. Hold on, come back, come back. Me, 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 me.
I'm up here, you're down here.
No, 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 no. Yeah, I don't think you're getting it. I don't think I'm. No, no, no. So anyway, then I got scared of sharks, and then I mean, so
Okay.
then I
So
stopped
you're
swimming in
like,
the ocean.
yeah.
But now there's a lap pool, and I'm pretty sure there's no sharks in the lap pool.
Yeah. How do you know?
90% sure.
Okay. Well,
So
I'm
let's
excited for you. Let me know how it
come for a
goes. Maybe
swim.
I'll join you. I know. I can hold my breath without having water. I'll probably end up doing a video
Yeah,
where I
but
increase my breath hold. Oh, that's not good for a video. That's just a lot of silence. Yeah, and then if you speed it up with a time lapse, everyone's like, that sucked. That wasn't even impressive.
so here's how you fix that video. You do a voiceover of your own thoughts.
Which are, I'm gonna hit my head. I'm gonna hit my head. I'm gonna hit my head.
No, if you're just holding your breath.
Yeah. Okay.
Or you do a reaction, a green screen Twitch style reaction,
Yeah. Okay.
There's a little U
Both of
right
those
here.
sound great. Yeah. All right. Well, this has been lovely. Max is gonna hold his breath until I get through the outro.
All right, ready? Hold on. Let me get my timer.
Ready? Three, two. Thank you to the Fitheads. Did you start? Okay. Oh wait, I forget what I say. What do I usually say? The Fitheads are we have a new channel, so thank you for subscribing to that. We're really excited to have you on YouTube or the Apple Podcasts or wherever you may listen to podcasts. You can rate and review for us on Apple Podcasts. That's great. Did I mention we have a new channel? Yeah, we have a new YouTube channel, and we're posting there at Wednesdays. And actually, we're late. It needs to go up today. I gotta edit this. Max, your eyes are really big. What's Oh, anyway,
I'm trying
see
out
you
for
next week.
Snapchat.